I'll stay my hounds with your brat.
Bring it on. I'll destroy you all. Give in to your fears.
Okay, hello, and welcome to my Tekken 7 Geese Howard guide. I'm going to assume that you know what mix-ups are, what Oki is, what combos are, etc. That you know all the jargon. And also that when I talk about 1, 2, 3, and 4, you know what I mean by that, by the buttons. Left punch being 1, right punch being 2, left kick being 3, and right kick being 4. And I guess just to start off, I'll do a little bit of an overview of the character. I think when Geese came out, he was definitely a strong contender for the game, but with every new character, nobody really knows how good the character's going to be until we mess around with them for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months, and try him in casual settings, trying in tournament settings, and see where he fits into the meta game. He's definitely got even stronger since the Season 2 update with the wall bounces. And I think he's a really good character to pick up if you want a character that is fun, extremely strong poking, really strong tracking, really good neutral game as well, and exceptional damage. His damage output is quite ridiculous, especially with meter. He's got really powerful counter hit and defensive tools as well. And that really just puts him, I definitely say he's maybe top 10, top 15 in the game. Top 10 might be pushing it, but yes, definitely an extremely strong character. I guess the only downsides to Geese would be he's got a very limited move pool, and because of that he also has very limited tech. That means he doesn't really get to do anything advanced to mix your opponent up. It's all very simple game plan. Like Akuma on the other 2D character, Eliza, he's a very unorthodox character because of the way the meter system works, and he has projectiles, which sets him apart from it, like the entirety of the rest of the cast, which can make him very weird to play with and against in this game. I guess we'll start by talking about Geese's punishment. His standing 10 frame is 112. Kind of like a Mishimo 112, except it doesn't knock down. Natural combo. Pretty good. 23 damage is not that bad for a 10 frame standing punish. You can also hit confirm it too if you just want to stick out. If you're doing jab pressure, just stick out 1-1. And if you see it hit, you can connect it too. So it's also a very nice pressure tool, poking tool. Go hit confirm to have in your pocket. Standing 12 frame punish is going to be a string back 1-2. I don't really use this string that much, mostly just because I'm not really familiar with specific frame data, so I don't know a lot of situations where I would need to use this punish. But if you do, you know a move's minus 12, you're going to want to hit him with this. 28 damage, pretty meaty. This is not a delayable string, I don't think. I don't think you can hit confirm this. No, you can't. But yes, very solid punish. 13 frame punish is down forward 1-1. Honestly, even though this is 13 frames and a natural hit, it's probably better off just to go for back 1-2, because you're going to get the same, it's going to punish the same, and it does a lot more damage. So yeah, definitely better off just ignoring that for 13 and just doing this to punish minus 13 as well. Minus 14 standing punish for Geese is back 3-2, which is extremely strong. Gets you a nice knockdown. If you decide not to spend meter or can't spend meter, you get a nice knockdown, so you get a nice mix-up situation on wake up. But if you do have meter, you can extend into a full combo, which we'll talk about when we get to the combo section of the video. But yes, that is a very strong 14 frame punish. It's nice that Geese has access to a 14 frame launcher with meter. Allows him to punish some moves on block that some characters cannot. Standing 15 frame punish is standing 2 forward 1, which you would combo into half circle back 3 or half circle back 4, whichever you prefer. It's really strong, good 40 damage, get the knockdown, leave you room to dash up for the Oki. And like back 3-2, it is also max mode cancelable. So if you decide to spend the meter, you can get a nice wall splat, or just go for the extra damage off of that. And that's about it for Geese's standing punishment. Alright, next up, Geese's crouching punishment, which is very straightforward. We have while standing 4, just a generic while standing 4, 11 frames, 18 damage. Nothing too special about that. 15 frames, you have full crouch down forward 1, which is his crouching launcher. You block something like a hell sweep or a dragon tail, you pop him up with a down forward 1 and do your bread and butter. Very simple, very effective, great launcher. And then crouching 18 frame punish, if you want to get stylish, as well, standing 2 forward 2, which is I would honestly just go for the down forward 1 most of the time, but if you really want to style, like you crouch a high rage art or something, or you block a hell sweep or a dragon tail, I really wanted to show off, I would go for this launcher, just to let them know that you got their ass. Okay, now we're going to talk about some of Geese's key moves. Geese's stand jab, pretty generic as far as jabs go. 10 frames, plus 1 on block. Just a really good way to establish some plus frames so you can get your offense started. Nothing really special about that. Down forward 1, pretty generic too. 13 frames, minus 1 on block. Just a nice mid option to pin down your opponent if they're moving a lot, if they're ducking a lot, and you really want them just, to stop. Very solid option to throw out. You can get a lot of pressure started just by throwing out those 2 moves. And then the third generic move that Geese has is down 1. Just a very generic down 1 dick jab. 10 frames, minus 5 on block. Just a kind of a panic move almost. If you're getting pressured, just a good thing to throw out in order to crush highs, fast interrupt to get the pressure off of you and kind of reset the neutral. Down forward 1, 4. Extension of down forward 1. I like to use the string a lot against players who are aggressive and press a lot of buttons. So if I'm like, I'm doing the jab strings, I'm doing the jab pressure, and I'm noticing they like to throw out buttons after I do the down forward 1 a lot, I'll go for this string because the second hit is a counter hit launcher. So that's a really good way to catch aggressive opponents who are trying to force their turn. It is minus 13 on block though, so you can be punished if it's blocked, but you're not going to eat that much damage for it. And in the same vein as that move is 3-3, pretty much the exact same thing. It's a natural hit combo, and the second hit is a counter hit launcher, so it's a very good way to catch your opponent pressing buttons if they're really trying to force their turn. Standing 2 into forward 1 is going to be your go-to with Punisher, 15 frame startup. I didn't bother noting the minus frames because the only time you're pretty much ever going to do this move is when you're going to be punishing something. You're never going to be doing this move raw, or at least you shouldn't, unless you're going into max mode, in which way you're plus anyway, so it doesn't matter about the frame data. So yeah, if your opponent whiffs something in front of you, or you sidestep to create a whiff, you just do forward 2, forward 1, into whatever follow-up you desire. In the same vein as that is back 3-2, which is also a whiff punisher if you sidestep or your opponent whiffs, and you can spend the max mode to cancel into a combo, which we'll go over later in the combo section. But yes, this is a very solid move to throw in neutral, unlike 2 forward 1, because the second hit is taken confirmable. You have to be pretty on point with your reactions to confirm this throw, because you don't have a lot of time to delay the string, but it is possible to confirm the string and then max mode cancel the second hit into the combo. So yeah, that is a very strong option that Geese has. Okay. Standing 4, 16 frame homing move, really strong defensive tool. If you have an opponent that's trying to rush you down, it's always in your face, running into you, this is a really good way to stop their offense. It's a counter hit launcher, so anything they try to approach with, anytime they run in on you and try to press something, you can kind of just stick this button out if you think they're going to come in, and anything they do except for a something like a high crushing move, since this is a high, will get counter hit into this, and it can get a counter hit combo afterwards. So yes, very strong defensive tool, and you do get a knockdown on regular hit. So that is a very good move to stick out against aggressive opponents. In the same vein as that move as well is down 4-2, which is pretty much the offensive version of that. It is one frame? Yeah, 1 frame slower, 17 frame startup. Oh, I'm sorry, 18 frame startup, so 2 frames slower, but it's also -5 on blocks, so it's a little more unsafe but not punishable. Same properties, except that it's a mid, so it can't be ducked, which is nice, or it can't be crushed either. So it's tracking mid and a counter hit launcher. So it's a very strong option to go for if you get a knockdown, you're in an Oki situation, and you know your opponent is going to wake up and press a button or wake up and try to sidestep. You can really pin them down and stop them from pressing anything by throwing out this move on their wake up. Okay, down 4. This is an excellent move. This is a really annoying move for your opponent to deal with. What makes it so great is that it is 17 frames, so it is unseeable. It's an unseeable low, and it is also a counter hit launcher. It's extremely nice. You can hit confirm that into a combo, and you can also cancel it into some of your strings and the special moves. So it's a really good way to annoy your opponent with a fast low and get into your mix-ups and get your offense started. It is, however, -31, I believe. Yes, -31 on block, so you will get launch punish for having this move blocked. So don't spam it. Yeah, just don't spam it. Don't use it all the time. But it is a very annoying tool for your opponent to deal with. So definitely throw it out as a counter hit tool, and just to keep your opponent in check and kind of condition them into maybe wanting to block low to nullify that option. Forward 4, another very strong defensive tool. 19 frames counter hit launcher, -13 on block. So if your opponent runs in and they do nothing and they block this, you might get punished for it, but you're not going to get that much damage. If they do, they can't launch you for it or anything. But yes, if your opponent is very aggressive and they're running in on you, like unlike standing 4 you can pretty much use it at any range. It's really fast, and you'll pretty much catch them with anything. But this one is a little more slow and long range, so you really want to kind of use it at this distance when your opponent's trying to like run in on you. You just kind of want to stick that out. And if it's blocked, no big deal. And if it counter hits them, or if it regular hits them, you get a knockdown or a launch. So yes, another one of those very strong defensive counter hit tools that Geese has. Forward wall +2, another very annoying tool for your opponent to deal with. Very strong offensive tool, and it's also a very good panic tool on defense if you really want to get out of a shitty situation. It's a launcher, very easy to hit confirm into a bread and butter combo. He is jumping when he is in this state. It's kind of slow, 24 frames, but you get the added bonus of crushing lows and Yeah, being airborne. So if you do get floated out of that launcher, you're not going to take that much damage because you're in the air. Very strong tool. You know, just to shut your opponent down if you think they're going to press a button. Especially if you think they're going to do a low. Very good way to close the gap and get in there with the launcher. And it's also -9 on block, so they cannot. If you throw this out and it's blocked, it's not that big a deal. It's not your turn anymore, but you can't be punished for it. So yeah, it's a very, very solid move from Geese. Okay, half circle back 3. Great, great, great armor move. 22 frames. Pretty easy to sidestep actually. That's the one thing you gotta watch out for. It's very linear. So if you throw this out trying to power cross something and it gets blocked, you're probably gonna get launched for it. Since the animation does take a while to recover. It's -9 on block. So even if you throw this out trying to power crush something and it gets blocked, you cannot get punished for it, which is really nice. Although you do have to start, it's not your turn anymore, so you kind of just have to hold whatever the opponent does afterwards. There's a variant of that, half circle back 4 instead of 3. He does 1 extra hit at the ends. It's 3 hits instead of 2, which is I rarely use this this variant of it. Well, the only time I use half circle back 4 instead of 3 is if I'm using this move and I notice that the opponent likes to press buttons afterwards because they know it's their turn. Sometimes I'll do half circle back 4 just because they aren't expecting the 3rd hit, so they'll press the button and get caught by it. Otherwise, I would not really recommend using this move since it's not that good in combos and can really fuck up the combos with the wall carry and the float and everything. I'd rather just use a 3. And if this half circle back 4 is blocked, it is -14 as opposed to -13, so you can get pretty substantially punished for that. Some characters can even launch you for that. So yeah, definitely not worth going for this all the time in my opinion. Reppuken, Geese's Fireball. Another move that really just exists to annoy your opponent. Pretty easy to sidestep. You kind of want to do it around this range. Maybe this range. You can do it from up here if you're really want to surprise your opponent, catch him off guard. You can do something like that. Do some string that has a lot of pushback. So you can get your opponent out of the way, and then finish it with a Reppuken and just make it really annoying for them to try to punish. That being said, if you do just do a Reppuken raw up close, I don't know why you would. It is -13 and double Reppuken is -19, so you will get punished for doing those raw up close. I don't know why you would. It's pretty much just like a zoning tool. You want to keep your opponent out. You just annoy them with this. And that's pretty much it. Down 2. Very, very solid low poke for Geese. 14 frames, and it's -14 on block, so you will get while standing 4 punish for this move. Maybe even launched by some characters, but probably not. But yes, this is a great move. Leaves you in full crouch, so you can go for a while standing 4 afterwards if you get the hit, or you can do another down 2, so you can create kind of a low mid mix up here if this connects. If you're feeling really ballsy, you can, since you're in full crouch, you can go for full crouch down forward 2, a full crouch down forward, full crouch while standing 2, forward 2, my bad. If you're really, really feeling ballsy, but I would not recommend that. Just play it safe, you know, do this, maybe just to establish some plus frames, go for while standing 4, back off, do this, just get the plus frames, dash up, sidestep, you know, whatever. Just to really, again, annoy your opponent with these pokes. Alright, down 1+2. This is kind of, I don't want to say it's a niche move, but they're very, you definitely just want to use this in select situations. It's a hard knockdown, it's definitely seeable. It starts up at 24 frames, -18 on block, so it can be launch punished. But it does give you a really nice knockdown, so it's definitely an option to consider when you're going for Oki. If you knock your opponent down, you may want to consider hitting this with them on wake up, because afterwards you do get OTG. Nice chunky 40 damage for that. OTG, by the way, is this off the ground throw, down back 2+4. It's just a way to get damage off of a grounded opponent. It's guaranteed after some moves which will be showing off like that. And also, if you want to do more damage, like you hit him with this and you know that this is not going to kill and you need more damage, you can do Raging Storm. Spend 2 bars for the Raging Storm. Just kind of hit confirm that. Do a nice 10 extra damage if you really want to secure the kill with that knockdown. But yeah, that's a nice Oki tool that Geese has. 1+2. This is another good neutral game tool, very good defensive tool. It is -9 on block, so can't get punished for it. Although, if you do just whiff this move, it's pretty easy to whiff punish. So I just recommend doing it if an opponent's running in on you. If you're just kind of like playing the neutral game from this kind of range, just movement and then throw it at 1+2. And if it hits, you get back 2 as a follow-up. That's the easy follow-up. But if you're really good at hit confirming, you can do instant running 1. There it is, like that. But you have to be really on point with your reactions in order to get that, and your execution. Yeah, I think that was 10 more damage, maybe a little more. Yeah, 12 more damage for going for the running 1. I definitely consider practicing that if you want to do max damage with Geese. It's a very, very good hit confirm. Okay, sidestep 3. This is kind of a niche move. I do like this move a lot. It's very satisfying. And the reason you want to go for this is the plus frames. It's -12 on block, so if your opponent blocks this move, you're going to get while standing forward, which isn't that big of a deal. But on hit, you're +6, so you get massive plus frames on this. This really allows you to create an opening and start your offense while kind of having the evasive property of a sidestep. The only downside of this is it's got kind of poor range. You kind of want to do it from range 0, like right here. This is the only real range you want to do it from. It's definitely a close quarter situation. And on counter hit, you actually get dash up OTG afterwards, which is nice. Nice 41 damage. So yeah, do this for plus frames. And if you get the counter hit, go for OTG. Hold on, I think you might be able to get Raging Storm after this. Like the 1+2 or down 1+2. Haven't really tried. Sure can. Wow. Okay. So yeah, like down 1+2. If you're willing to spend the meter to secure the kill after a counter hit sidestep 3, you can get a nice 55 damage for spending the Raging Storm. Very cool. Next move, quarter circle back 2. I kind of showed this off earlier. This is Geese's baked in 50-50 tool. It's a very strong tool that he has. You basically just force your opponent to guess. So you have 3 options out of this. You have quarter circle back 2-1. This is a natural hit, knockdown. It's a mid. It's -15 on block, so you can get launched for it if you have this blocked. Quarter circle back 2-3, which is another mid, but -8, so it's not a natural hit unlike quarter circle back 2-1, but it is safe on block. And on knockdown, you get a guaranteed OTG afterwards, like so. If I can get it. And again, if you really want to spend the meter, go for a Raging Storm and secure the kill. And then your third option, which is where the mix-up comes in, is quarter circle back 2-4. It's low sweep, which is -18 on block, so you will get launch punish for this shit. Very unsafe. But like quarter circle back 2-3, you get a OTG or Raging Storm on hit. So it creates a very strong mix-up. Definitely do not want to get hit by any of those options. So yes, so you can do that out of forward 1. You can do that out of... You can just do it raw if you want. You can do it out of forward 1. You can do like down 1, forward 1, forward circle back 2, and then an option. You can do 2, forward 1, and then an option. Down 4 maybe. Down 4, forward 1, and then an option. There's a lot of ways to get into this mix-up. And then in max mode, some of the properties change. In order to do the max mode version of this move, you have to do quarter circle back 1+2, pressing both punch buttons in order to get it. And in this, the frame data mostly stays the same, except for quarter circle 1+2, quarter circle back 1+2, 1 changes frame data. This, it's still a natural hit, but this is now -2 on block, so it's no longer launch punishable, which is really nice. But what changes about the other moves is that they launch now. Quarter circle back 1+2, 3 launches. Get a nice combo off of it if it hits. And the same with quarter circle back 4. You get a while standing 4 to float into a combo. If I can land it like so. So that makes the mix-up even that more dangerous. You're now dealing with eating a full wall carry combo into a super. A really good, a really annoying way to put someone into that situation, that mix-up situation, is to punish them with a forward 2 into max mode, and then go for the quarter circle back and EX, because you make them guess between those launchers. Like you can go for your bread and butter and just go for the wall carry, but if you're feeling cheeky, you can reset them. Like with that, most people are not going to look for that. And you can reset them into a combo and flip them with that while standing 4. So yeah, it's a very, very strong mix-up and a very annoying mix-up to deal with for your opponent. Is Geese's command throw, back 1+2. This is the only unique throw that he has. It's a 1+2 break. And it's unique in that if there's a wall behind Geese, he gets a guaranteed OTG afterwards, which I'll show in the wall game segment of this video, because Geese does have a very, very significant wall game that is deserving of its own section. So I'll cover the follow-ups to this in the wall section. There's also the parries. Everyone loves the parries. Besides forward 1+2, another really strong approach tool for Geese is running 1. This elbow comes out 15 frames. It has a lot of priority. If your opponent tries to do anything during this animation, they almost always will get hit by this, unless it's a sidestep. This move is very linear, so if the opponent sidesteps this move, you are pretty open to punishes. That being said, other than that, if it's blocked, it's -7, so not punishable. It's pretty safe to throw out. It's also an extremely good Oki tool for if your opponent is kind of far away and you want to close the gap while still putting pressure on them. You don't want the neutral to reset and then give them a chance to breathe. You want to knock them down and then immediately go for running 1, just to keep them kind of, you know, in one place, to stop them from trying to get up and challenge you with anything. There's not really that much to say about his parries, really. His high parry just does damage if he gets high. His mid parry, you do get a follow-up. You get you either get a 2 or you get a back 3. You can get either or. It doesn't really matter which one you do. If you don't have meter, you obviously want to go for the 2 forward 1, just so you can get the combo. But if you do have meter, it's probably better to go for that because you do more damage. You do 1 more point of damage, and it's faster, so it's harder to drop. Let me just show off what that looks like. Landing the parry. 2 down forward 1's in mid, right? Yeah, okay. So let's make him jab and then down forward 1. So it looks something like this if you get a mid parry. And if you do have meter, you can go for the back 3-2 into the combo. So yep, that's what you're dealing with Geese's parries. Geese does have a low parry, but I don't think it's that good since you can't get a screw afterwards. It's pretty much just like a regular ass low parry, so I would just go for the generic low parry, since when you do a generic, since Geese's low parry has a full ass recovery animation so you can get punished for it, it's better just to go for a generic low parry and then realize nothing happened and back off and immediately recover instead of having to wait for this animation to play out. So yeah, that is Geese Howard's key moves. And I'll see you in the next section, which is combos. We're going to talk about the fun part of the guy, and it'll probably take up the most time, honestly. The combos. Now, I think the way I'm going to handle this is we're going to do wall-less combos first, starting with the 0 bars and working our up to 3 bars, working our way up to 3 bars. And then we'll switch to a wall stage and do combos that involve walls, starting with 0 bars and working our way up to 3 bars. And then after that, I'll show you guys a couple stage specific combos that you can do. So let's get started. A lot of these combos are gonna have the same combo routes. It's a lot of the same bread and butter stuff. So I'll start slow, and once we go over bread and butter a couple times, I'll start going through these pretty fast. So I guess to start, we'll do forward 1+2 for the launcher. And then after we see that 4 1+2 hit, we're going to do down 4, forward 3. This string right here, we're just going to float them, like so. And after that, for the screw, we're going to do back 4 4. So 4 1+2, down 4 forward 3, back 4 4. After that screw, we're going to dash up, and then do 2 forward 1, and then half circle back 3, like so. So we put it all together and it looks like this. And that's going to be your bread and butter Geese combo for a lot of your launchers. There's another ender I like to do for these bread and butter combos, which is 2 quarter circle back 2 3. It leaves you a lot closer to the opponent. That way you don't have to run up in order to get Oki. They're right there in front of you, so it's really easy to stay in their face after you get the knockdown, but you are sacrificing a little bit of damage. So you get to choose when you're on infinite stage like this whether you want to go for the damage option or you want to go for the Oki option like this. You see how that leaves them a lot closer than if I went for the half circle back option. A lot closer. It allows me to keep up my offensive pressure a lot easier. Okay. We also have, I guess I should have done this first, but we also have standing 2, forward 1, half circle back 3. I kind of covered that already with the punishment and everything. Yeah, really basic 0 bar combo. You see something you want to whip punish it, go right into that. Nothing too special about that. Gonna do the same bread and butter for full crouch down forward 1. Exact same thing. And again, like I said, you can go for this ender instead if you want to go for if you want to keep the positioning in the Oki. You do the same bread and butter combo if you get a counter hit forward 4. Or a counter hit down 4. Or the second hit of a 3-3. Geese's combo route is a little bit different for if you hit the opponent with a counter hit 4 or down 4 2, since the move you're hitting them with is already a screw move. In this case, you want to do down forward 4 3 like you usually do, but since you already use a screw in your combo, you're going to end it with down 4 into half circle back 3. So it would look something like this. The same with down forward 2. Okay, now this is a fun one. This is full crouching down forward 2, forward 2. Not full crouching, my bad. This is his while standing 2, forward 2 combo. His fisherman slam, as it were. Borrowed the move from Brian Fury. After that, you're going to want to do forward 3. You're going to be on the player 2 side, obviously. You're going to do forward 3. And then immediately into back 4 4. It's pretty much your bread and butter, except you switch sides, and you don't do a down 4, you just go right into the forward 3. Alright, let's get into 1 bar combos now, starting with 2 forward 1. If you do 2 forward 1 and then cancel it into EX, you can do another 2 forward 1, it's a half circle back 3. Whoops. Like so. Popping EX after back 3-2 gives you access to the bread and butter combo that we practiced before. If you hit your opponent with the quarter circle back 1+2, 3 while you're in max mode, you also get the same bread and butter combo that I've been showing off. And if you get quarter circle back 1+2, 4, you get to float them with while standing 4, back 4, 4, 2 forward 1, half circle back 3. Now here's the fun part about Geese having 1 bar of meter, is he gets to combo into his rage a little differently. Normally if you have 0 bar and you have meter, you would do rage art after your screw, like so. You dash up and just go for it after the screw and it lands. But if you have 1 bar of meter, you get to, after the screw, after back 4, 4, you actually get to dash up, back 3, 2 into max mode, and then do rage art. I'll show off what that looks like right now. And you get, you know, that really is just used to ensure the kill. You know, if you can't get the wall, or like you're on the infinite stage, or you are on a wall stage and you know you can't get the wall, that's just really to get that extra 2 hits of damage in there to make sure that the rage art kills once you land it. You can do the same thing after a counter hit screw move as well. You just do it after the down 4, forward 3. Very easy, very simple, but it's a trick that not that many new Geese players know. Here's a fun one. If you get your opponent in the back, or if you get your opponent's back with Geese, you can actually do quarter circle back 1+2, 3, and it'll still combo, which allows you to do the bread and butter. You go right into the bread and butter that I showed off earlier. Extremely good damage. Okay, here's something that I forgot to mention, and only remember that was a thing when I was like uploading all the clips in order to edit them. Geese has this move. I guess I should turn inputs on. Forward 1+2, half circle back, punch. It's pretty useless except for when it's an EX. If you do forward 1+2, quarter circle back 1+2, you get the max mode version, the EX version. This is an extremely good move. If this is blocked, it is +5 on block, so after you land you get to continue your pressure for free. You get to do a whole bunch of shit. You're +5, you have massive advantage. And if it hits, you get to do while standing 4 into a full combo, into your bread and butter combo. So this is a very, very strong option that Geese has that I forgot to mention. So after your regular combo, if you want to spend super, I mean most people are newer players, they tend to do this. They like to do their bread and butter and then do Raigo Reppuken afterwards. But actually a more damaging way to do it, and also gives you better Okri, is to after the screw do 2 quarter circle back 2, 3. And then buffer Raigo Reppuken out of that, like that. Let me show you what that looks like. Like this. And you can see it doesn't technically combo, but they can't roll or take anything out of it. That all hits for free. So that is technically a true combo, even though on the life bar and on the side it doesn't say that it is. There's nothing they can do about eating that Raigo Reppuken. It is guaranteed. And you can go for that same combo after a screw move as well, like your counter hit 4, counter foot down 4, 2. Just do dash up, 2, forward circle back 2, 3, Raigo Rapuken. And kind of combining the two things that we just learned. If we get the back of our opponent and we do our guarantee forward circle back 2, 3, after that EX runs out, we can actually we get our screw in the combo. We can dash up and get our back 3-2 max builder to rage art as long as we have the meter for it, like so. Which is a really fun and satisfying combo to land, and it does crazy damage. Now with 3 bars and without walls, there isn't really that much we can do with all of our meter. There are a couple things we can do. We can do this, our 2 forward 1 max mode combo, and then end it with a Raigo. We can do our back 3-2 max mode combo, and then end it with our other Raigo ender. And we can go for the same thing with our caught in the back situation, which we've shown off a couple times. Which again is just a stupid amount of damage. For meterless with the walls, you're basically always going to go. You're always going to go for this ender, pretty much, unless you're not going to get the wall. In which case, I'd recommend you do this ender again for the Oki. But if you do get the wall, what you're gonna do is down forward 1-1, this string, and then standing 2 into double Rapuken. So it'll look like this at the wall. So if we piece it together, it'll look like this. Good 74 damage, and they're at the wall, so the situation is yours pretty much. You knock them down, it's still your turn. You get to mix them up with whatever you like. Really good situation for Geese. And you can do that pretty much off every other combo. I guess the only other thing there really is for walls with Geese is with his back throw, with his command throw. He gets a guaranteed OTG if it gets a wall splat. So without meter, get that guaranteed. It's pretty sick. And then of course with 1 meter, it gives Geese the option to get back 3-2 to the wall. Which honestly, unless you're pretty far away from the wall, you're probably not going to get a follow-up. Maybe if you're like further back here, you'll be able to get the wall splat. But it's the same basic idea, you get the same ender. Same thing with this combo too, you know, this into that. You're doing the same ender, so as long as you're close enough and you get to get the wall splat, you're just going to do the same ender, down forward 1-1 into 2 double Rapuken. Where things really get to start fun though is at the wall, like right next to the wall, because what this allows you to do is, as long as you have this position, you get to whiff punish with while standing 2, unless he gives you access to that move, course it'll go back 1+2, 1. Which is Geese's wall-bound move, which is where he gets to rack up some insane damage. So after you land that combo and you get the wall-bound, the first thing you're going to do is jumping 2, this move, which will wall splat them back onto the wall. Like so. Right back onto the wall. And after you get them back onto the wall, you're going to do 2 jabs. Make sure you don't do 1-1. You don't want to do 1-1. You want to do 2 separate jabs. 1, 1, and then OTG. Like this. Alternatively, you can also do down 4 into double Rapuken at the end if you want to keep the wall position more. Like if you know that the OTG isn't going to kill, I'd rather keep the wall position just to limit their escape options and movement options, I would recommend going for the down 4 double Rapuken. So it's the same thing, the 2 jabs after the wall bounds. But instead of the OTG, do jab, jab, down 4 double Rapuken. Like that. You can see there's a little bit less damage, but you get to keep this wall position, which is really good. for if it's still like a little early in the round and you know you need one more mix-up to kill them. 2 bars on the wall is where things start to get interesting, because this is when you get access to your re-wall splat into Raging Storm. So you're gonna do your bread and butter combo, like always. So once you get here to the wall splat, you're gonna do something different. You're gonna do down 4, forward 3. And out of that down 4, forward 3, you're going to buffer Raging Storm, this super. So get used to doing that first of all. Practice doing down 4, raising forward 3, and then having Raging Storm come out at the ends like that. That is the important part of this combo. And it'll look like this when you do it right. And afterwards, like with that 1 bar wall combo I showed you, where we got the OTG or the down 4 double Rapukin, it's the same thing. After that Raging Storm, and sliding down the wall, we get the same option. We can either go for OTG for more damage, or we can go for down 4 double Rapukin for the wall positioning. So let me show you what both of those options look like. There's your damage. And there's your wall position. Having 2 bars of meter also gives us access to this combo, which is another command throw wall splat combo. After you do this and you see Geese like pump his fists, you're gonna do double Rapukin or Raigo Rapukin. My bad. Raigo Rapukin, like that. And right after you hear him say Rapukin, right at the end of that word, you're gonna do OTG. And Geese is gonna grab them as soon as they hit the ground. Very, very big damage. Since it's all not a combo, it's all unscaled, guaranteed follow-ups. So absolutely massive damage, and it's a really good way to make the best of a bad situation at the wall where your opponent's really pressuring you. You're able to, you know, sneak in a jab or down jab and then command throw them with 2 bars and get this follow-up. It is all over for them. Massive damage. Now having 3 bars with Geese is where the damage really kicks in, because it allows you to get the that whiff punish at the wall situation I showed you earlier. But you also get your Raging Combo re-wall splat. So I don't really think I have to explain it. You're just piecing the 2 together. So I'll just show you. Into this re-wall splat with F443. And then as per usual, you can always go for the wall positioning situation by doing down 4 double Rapukin instead after the Raging Storm. And then of course with 3 bars, you get your back 3-2 to the wall. And if you do get the wall, you can do down 4-3 into Raging Storm like we've been doing. Another really strong option that Geese has at the wall is his Power Crush. You think your opponent is going to press a button, or you just want to keep them pinned down, you hit them with the Power Crush at the wall, or you know, you do something like this. So either just as a block string, or you're punishing something with this. After you get the wall splat with the half circle back, you can actually sidestep to the left. It doesn't work to the right for whatever reason, but if you sidestep to the left on either side, you get a down 4 forward 3 into your bread and butter combo. It's a really, really nice wall conversion that Geese has access to. You can do, you know, you can do a lot out of this. You can do pretty much all the bread and butter stuff that we went over in the previous segments. You know, to our Raigo. If we have Rage, we can do our back 3-2 max mode into Rage Art. Here we go. Yeah, as you can see, very, very, very good conversion. Can lead to a lot of explosive damage if you manage to clip your opponent with it with their back to the wall. Alright, there's actually one more thing that I want to show off before we go into stage-specific combos, even though this isn't really combo related, that it's an option select that Geese has after OTG. So this is an option select against wake up kicks. So we'll cover every single wake up kick in the book. So basically, after you do an OTG, the stand up, he goes stand up, die. You're gonna wait for him to do the fist pump, and then when he does the fist pump, you're gonna hold down forward, and I'll show you why. So let's do this. Whoops. This. OTG. Fist pump, hold down forward. It'll low parry the get up low kick immediately. But this also covers all the other get up kicks as well. As you can see, if I do this, and he makes it mid, it's going to whiff. And then that's the entire reason we wait for the fist pump. If we start holding down forward before the fist pump, we'll start moving too soon and we'll eat the wake up mid kick. But by waiting for the fist pump and then doing holding down forward, we make the wake up mid whiff. We make the wake up mid kick whiff. And then we can whiff punish it if they do a mid kick. So if they wake up with a low kick, it'll automatically low parry, and we can hit confirm it into our combo. And if we see it's a mid kick, we can whiff punish it. All right, now for the floor break stage, Forgotten Realm, your wall break combo or floor break combo rather is quite simple. We're gonna get all the way up to the wall splat, and then once you get the wall splat, you're going to do two cross circle back 2-3, like we've been doing for some of the enders. And then once we get the floor break, we're going to do standing 2 into double Rapukin, or if you have rage, you can spend rage art there. So I'll show you what that looks like. Nice chunky 76 damage. So, if you are Geese-houred on Claudio's stage here, the cathedral stage, and you get a balcony break without spending screw, you actually get a big carry combo that goes all the way to the other side. I'm gonna explain it here once without like showing it, and then I'm gonna show it all at once just because I don't want to reset it multiple times and explain while resetting it multiple times and have to wait through all the loading screens and everything. So what you're going to do is you're going to break the balcony with a half circle back 3, or do 2 forward 1, half circle back 3 to break the balcony. And once it breaks, you're going to do forward 1, down 4, forward, I'm sorry, not forward 1, you're going to do forward 3, down 4, forward 3, down 4, forward 3. And then after the second down 4, forward 3, you're going to max mode, like that. And then after max mode, you're going to wait until the last possible second and then press 4 for the screw. That I want to do it. I just really hit Gazoo with that because that'll break the balcony. You're gonna screw with standing 4. And after that, you're gonna dash in as far as possible and do 2 half circle back 3. And that's gonna carry Kazuya here all the way to the wall. And then the next part is a pretty tight. I mean, the whole thing actually is pretty tight timing, but the next part is pretty tight. You're gonna dash up. You don't want to dash up all the way to the wall. You want to dash up as far as you can to the maximum range of down 4, and then do down 4, forward 3, Raging Storm OTG. So I'll show you all what that combo looks like now. Hopefully it makes more sense in motion. There's your stage specific combo. Now in terms of wall breaks, Geese actually has a fuck ton of options. He has way too many options actually. He's got running 1, that breaks the wall. He's got half circle back will break the wall. Just good because it's a regular ass combo under. Quarter circle back 2-1 will break the wall, or maybe it doesn't. No, never mind. It does break the wall. That used to break the wall, doesn't anymore. Down 4, forward 3 will break the wall, as long as it's part of a combo. Let me see if I can show that off. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, both of your screw combo stars will break the wall. Down 4-2 will break the wall, and standing 4 will also break the wall as long as you hit it. So yeah, that is pretty much all the information I have to give you on Geese Howard, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a thing or two while watching this. And yeah, I guess I'll see you when I see you. Peace.